football will vanish a lot more quickly from Westchester County than it will from Odessa, Texas.
You know, it's interesting though that I think that this very sport may be the thing that actually could transcend helicopter parenting. I mean, it's that.
I don't agree because we're not requiring that parents say football should be banned. No, that's the kind of thing I would think unthinkable. That's not going to happen anytime soon. What we're talking about here is not that parents are going to come out in favor of the abolition of football. That's way, way, way down the road and not going to happen. All that has to happen for there to be significant change is for parents to say, I don't want my son playing football. Very, very separate issue, right? Very, very different question. Much easier at the margin. Do I want to encourage my son to play football or soccer? That's what I'm talking about. It's going to start in the private schools. If I'm spending $30,000 a year to send my son to a private high school, am I going to let my son participate in a sport that has some unknown percent chance of impairing him permanently cognitively? No way. It's just not. It's not going to happen. Right? That's over. So then it'll slowly go down the line. Like I said, no one's banning football. It's just parents are going to start opting out. They're going to say, I don't want my kid to play.
So you think it's going to become sort of analogous to boxing, like after the truth came out about boxing? So like
when my dad was in high school in England in the 40s, they boxed in phys ed, like in gym class, right? Didn't happen anymore, right? The parents back then finally rose up and said, why am I letting my son be subject to this kind of physical punishment, right? So it stopped.
I'm just wondering where they're going to get the talent pool if that happens, though, because if you take it from the high school level, and a lot of the high schools are taken out, where's the talent pool?
Well, that's exactly it. What's going to happen to the pro game is it will slowly and steadily be strangled. The talent pool is going to shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink. So suppose Northwestern did it. You haven't had an elite. You've had two elite football teams in the last 20 years. You're sitting in the cellar of the Big Ten, and in one season, 2 players on your team are paralyzed or die on the football field, right? And then you have a change in administration, and a new president comes in and just says, to hell with it. And if someone like Northwestern did it, then suddenly the doors open for a whole bunch of similar kind of schools. If you're Middlebury, why do you have a football team, right? If you're Amherst, why do you have a football team? At the end of the day, the generation of Yale graduates who care about the Bulldog football team is shrinking by the day, right? And they're going to start, and that's what's going to happen. And that's part of this kind of ghettoization of the sport.
Are you ready for some real